Hey everyone, welcome to another sponsored Shadowverse video. The next Shadowverse expansion, STARFORGED Legends, is out next week, so the majority of cards has already been announced, which means that I want to have a look at some new interesting cards with you over the next couple of videos. So far the expansion looks very solid with a decent amount of interesting stuff coming into the game. In this video I will give you then some outlook for a handful of the new powerful legendaries that you can pick up in STARFORGED Legends, while we will check out some interesting gold and silver cards in the next videos. If this video will make you eager to try out Shadowverse, you can find some download links to either Steam or the mobile clients in the video description. With STARFORGED Legends, the mechanic is getting more attention that we saw first in the Wonderland Dreams, and that is the ongoing effect of a legendary card until the rest of the game. In Wonderland Dreams, Caraboss, the Wicked Fairy, was the first to introduce an ongoing effect on a legendary card, but with STARFORGED Legends this behavior is coming back in bigger form but also a bit weaker than before. The Wicked Fairy gives you her ongoing effect instantly when you place her. The legendary with ongoing effects in STARFORGED Legend, on the other hand, are coming with last words effects, which means it makes it a bit easier and fairer for your opponent to react to them. The first legendary that is coming with such an effect is the Omen Gunt, a new Bloodcraft follower that will cost you 6 play points and comes with 5 attack and defense. When this unit goes down, you get the ongoing and stackable effect that every damage that you are taking on your own turn is also dealing 1 extra damage to your opponent. In any other class other than Bloodcraft, this would be a really bad effect, but of course here it makes perfect sense. Bloodcraft is a class that will be devastating to your opponent, but also to yourself, with a lot of self-damaging cards already released and more to come. The more you're hitting yourself, the more you're also hitting your opponent. Omen Gunt fits the overall theme of Bloodcraft perfectly. On the other hand, I'm not sure if this card will be interesting enough for the more aggressive versions of the class, because we are looking at a last words effect instead of a fanfare effect, and that's probably triggering on turn 7 the earliest, a number that is on average already the ending point of the faster Bloodcraft decks. In a more grind-based control-ish version of Bloodcraft that takes more time to finish games, the card will find a better place to shine. You will get enough time to increase the value of the effect over time. You're normally running some sort of healing for yourself that allows you to damage yourself harder, and of course you're not forced to win the game as early as possible. It's definitely a cool card that is worth to build a deck around it. The other new legendary that features a last words keyword with an ongoing effect is the Heavencraft follower Heresies Habit. For 7 play points, this one will make sure that every counter amulet that you will play is getting immediately destroyed. One single important thing with this effect is the play word, because it will not include the amulets that spawn more amulets like Seraph, otherwise it would be completely broken, but even without this extra power, we're looking at a very powerful tool to finish games way easier for Heavencraft. The class is the home of counter amulets, and in the last couple of expansions it was getting more and more tools to activate amulets faster, to outweigh the disadvantage of them and keep up with an even faster going metagame. A counter amulet is always a powerful tool, but one that needs time, so if you can bypass the waiting time by other effects, you get the additional power instantly with no downside at all. The avatar is providing exactly that for yourself, and because it is ongoing for the rest of the game, it is safe to say that this card will have a lasting effect on a lot of Heavencraft builds. While the class explored a faster route as well the last couple of expansions, the core of it is still perfectly in control decks that can definitely profit from any faster activation of the amulet effects. But also a Storm Heavencraft build that will instantly drop a lot of Storm units without the waiting downside might be a good combination with Heresies Avatar. The super fast neutral decks probably do not need it for now, but you never know how the game is evolving in the future. The next card I want to show you today is the Mail of Obliteration, a card that is so far not rated very highly within the community, but I still think the effect is fun enough to give it a bit of a spotlight. The Mail is a very straightforward card of the Shadowcraft class that will start with 0 attack. For every follower that was destroyed during the match, you will add 1 extra attack to the Mail when you play the card. So let's see. We have Shadowcraft on the one hand, a class that will play a bunch of small units that will just spawn more and more units, and we have Follower that is getting buffed for each of your units killed earlier. It sounds like a perfect match to create a 20 attack unit that can one turn kill your opponent. That would be the dream, but in fact the card has some problems. First of all, of course, the effect is a bit too boring for a legendary. There's nothing super unique or exciting enough for the player base to want to try out the card, and second, which is definitely more important, without any extra effect, the card is an easy target for any trade or removal at hand. Without the opportunity to attack instantly the face, the dream of a one-turn kill will be hard to achieve and crush too often. A bit of a different picture is it when you get him in take 2 with the absence of a lot of removal. He has a decent chance to survive and boom, eat that. The reason why you still probably want to try out the card is the Shadowcraft Amulet Siren's Tear, which will destroy the mail at the end of your turn, and then push the stats on a different neutral follower. That of course needs a lot of setup and is probably not worth it in too many situations, but at least should provide some interesting shenanigans to surprise your opponent. And of course, the artwork is great, so please give him some play. The next card will offset the weak Shadowcraft Legendary for sure, because it is time to go into the jungle and take the King Elephant for a ride. The new Forestcraft Legendary is one hell of a 10 play point beast that will be the star of a new one turn kill deck. Starting as a 1 attack and 1 defense follower, the King Elephant has Storm and will return all other allied followers back into your hand. Afterwards, he's getting buffed by each card in your hand by +1/+1 to a maximum then of 10/10. That already sounds decent, but how would you like to also ignore Ward? Well, here you go, take the elephant and go for the face, GG man. So if your rhinos weren't enough early in the game, the elephant is definitely there to pick you up. The package is really insane and scary at the same time, leaving your opponent in a constant state of dying when you go to 10 play points in the late game, and hopefully it gets to push the win rate of Forestcraft finally higher again. Right now the class is one of the weaker ones, a push in the right direction is definitely needed, and I'm pretty sure that the elephant will provide exactly that. For the last legendary card in today's video, I want to have a look at the Dragoncraft follower Python, a huge snake that is so hungry that it will eat all your smaller cards out of the deck. We all know that Dragoncraft is a class in Shadowverse that you play when you're going for a ramp deck. Naturally, in a ramp deck you're trying to play a lot of high cost cards in the end game, while your early cards are just there to help you improve your play points and survive long enough. In the endgame it is therefore more beneficial for you to only draw high cost cards, and the Python is making sure that exactly that is happening, because he will banish every card that costs 7 or less play points from your deck. In theory the effect is therefore really cool for Dragoncraft. On the other hand, it also provides a huge problem for you. First of all, killing all other cards that are too cheap will still only leaves you with a super small deck, which forces you then to really win fast or die trying. Fatigue is just around the corner, and it would really be a shame if you are way ahead and just losing because there are no cards left for you to play. The next problem will occur if you still want to play a few of the smaller cards, but you can't because of course they are gone. Most of the drawing and AoE cards will be killed through the effect of your legendary, leaving you behind with a bunch of high cost followers and the danger of going into top deck mode if your opponent is able to hold off for the first few waves of units. Can still be a game-winning card of course, but the offset you will take might be a bit too much and narrows your options too hard in most situations. Also, I do not hope that you will pick this one up in Arena, because then your deck will be reduced to nothing in an instant. Well, and that is then it for today's video. I hope you're also looking forward to the next expansion. It's just around the corner, plus there are some additional promotions currently running, so grab the free stuff while you still can. In the next video on Friday, I'll then take a look at some gold cards, and until then, I wish you the best and have a great day.